Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We are looking at Google's May 2026 I/O event today. And honestly, they didn't just introduce a few shiny new AI tools here. They completely rewired their massive financial engine. We're going to unpack the exact relationship between the bleeding edge code they're shipping and the absolutely unprecedented wealth they are generating. Now, what's really wild about this number, a staggering $4.71 trillion market cap, is that Google's new AI updates literally just pushed their valuation into totally uncharted blue sky territory. Think about this. As of late May 2026, their stock is up over 24% for the year. That is not just a slight bump. It's a massive, seismic market reaction to a fundamental shift in how Google actually operates. So here is our roadmap for today. We'll be hitting the era of AI agents, upgrading the Google ecosystem, how AI drives blockbuster earnings, their cloud growth and dominance, and finally, forecasting a blue sky future. Let's connect the dots and track exactly how the bleeding edge engineering from Google I/O translated straight into the historic financial milestones Wall Street is celebrating right now. All right, Section 1, the era of AI agents. Google has fundamentally shifted its entire strategy here. We're moving away from reactive AI queries, where you ask a question and get a text response, to a highly proactive, autonomous AI ecosystem. But before we look at the specific models, we really need to understand the concept of agentic AI. This is a massive paradigm shift. It basically means we're moving toward an AI that doesn't just sit around twiddling its thumbs waiting for your prompts. Instead, it autonomously takes actions, manages complex tasks, and makes decisions on your behalf, totally in the background. It's graduating from a basic search engine to a full-blown digital employee. And this brilliantly illustrates that shift. Meet Gemini Spark. This is a 24/7 personal AI agent that runs entirely in the cloud. It is capable of autonomously monitoring your credit card statements for anomalies, organizing your daily calendars, and it integrates seamlessly with third-party apps like Canva, OpenTable, and Instacart. Just imagine having an assistant that books your dinner, orders your groceries, and drafts a report while you're literally fast asleep. That is Gemini Spark. Now compare the old world of basic text and image generators with the brand new Gemini Omni. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a completely new ballgame. Omni is a model that can generate and seamlessly edit video from any input at all, whether that's text, images, or audio, and most impressively, it possesses an advanced, baked-in understanding of real-world physics and dynamics. It flawlessly blends Google's vast intelligence with high-end creative generation. Moving right along to Section 2, upgrading the Google ecosystem. Now that we know the raw power of these Gemini updates, let's see how Google is injecting this agentic AI directly into the workspace tools you use every single day. This is really where the tech meets the consumer. So here is how that workflow actually looks in practice. Using a fascinating new underlying model with a rather fun name, Nano Banana, the newly introduced Google Pix allows you to do incredibly complex visual work in seconds. You can segment objects, translate text seamlessly right inside of your images, and then collaboratively edit those high-fidelity assets directly inside Google Slides and Drive. The friction between creating an asset and actually using it in a presentation, it's completely gone. Now combine that visual power with the new live voice transcription features. You can now speak entirely naturally to draft documents, capture complex meeting notes, and, okay, this is the real game changer. Ask conversational questions about your inbox directly in Gmail, Docs, and Keep. You literally don't have to search for that specific email from your accountant anymore. You just ask your workspace what your accountant said last Tuesday, and it simply tells you. That brings us to Section 3. AI drives blockbuster earnings. Because the absolutely crucial point here is how these consumer upgrades turned into a literal financial windfall. Let's look at the historic Q1 2026 earnings report released on April 29th. Just look at this dramatic shattering of expectations. Wall Street analysts had a consensus that earnings per share would sit around $2.63. The actual number? An astounding $5.11. They didn't just beat expectations, guys. They wildly obliterated them. We're talking about an 82% year-over-year growth in EPS. And the rest of the quarter was honestly just as explosive. Total revenue hit $109.9 billion, marking 11 consecutive quarters of double-digit growth. And what drove this? An all-time high in search queries directly thanks to the new AI-powered search overviews. People are using search more because it's just way more conversational and helpful. This pushed net income up 81% to a staggering $62.6 billion for the quarter alone.
Let's pivot to Section 4, Cloud Growth and Dominance. Because to truly understand where this massive scale of monetization is happening, we have to look behind the curtain at the enterprise level, specifically at Google Cloud.
Google Cloud isn't just growing, it has become a highly profitable engine. Look at these Q1 metrics. Cloud revenue soared 63% year over year to $20.03 billion. But the real story here is the profitability. Operating income actually tripled to $6.6 billion at an incredibly healthy 32.9% margin. They're proving that running these heavy AI workloads isn't just a massive cost center, it's a huge profit generator. And if you want rock-solid proof of long-term stability in this space, look no further than the $462 billion cloud order backlog. This backlog nearly doubled quarter over quarter. What this means in plain English is that enterprise clients are locking into Google's AI infrastructure for the long haul. It provides exceptional, guaranteed revenue visibility for the next 2 whole years. Which leads us perfectly into Section 5, Forecasting a Blue Sky Future. With an arsenal of proactive agentic AI tools and an absolute mountain of secure, highly profitable cloud revenue, let's explore how Wall Street analysts are aggressively recalculating Google's future. These updated forecasts tell the whole story. Top analysts at institutions like Bank of America and Zacks have radically revised their fiscal year 26 and 27 estimates upward. They bumped FY26 EPS estimates from $11.45 straight up to $14.01. And they are directly crediting the newly implemented AI-driven search formats and expanding cloud margins for this sudden burst of future profitability. Consequently, major institutions are raising their 12-month stock price targets across the board. Mizuho and JP Morgan both raised their targets to $460, citing expectations of up to 70% cloud growth. Bank of America raised theirs to $430. And you know what a huge driver of this confidence is? The fact that consumer AI subscribers, meaning everyday people like us paying for advanced Gemini access, have already hit 350 million users. No way anyone predicted that level of adoption this fast. All of this data leaves us with a really fascinating thought to end on today. As Gemini models like Spark and Omni become the default operating systems for our daily digital lives, literally drafting our emails, editing our videos, booking our dinners, and with a $462 billion enterprise cloud backlog securing their backend, have we just witnessed the creation of an autonomous tech empire that is simply unmatched? Think about how deeply these agents are about to integrate into your own workflow. I'm going to leave you with that to ponder.